All right, we're live on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook, but YouTube wants to, I don't know, do
Hello,
something.
everybody, but YouTube.
All right, we're now live on YouTube. We're just taking its time. Like it
All
comes.
right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another Berkeley Slam. We have an amazing show. We have an amazing feature. But first, today's show is brought to you by our support from our generous patrons over at Patreon and viewers like you. This show, while super rewarding, still has to abide by the merciless rules of capitalism. Every contribution given to us helps Rich Oak Events plan and budget to ensure that we are paying feature artists, supporting local fledgling writers, and providing a space for our East Bay community to enjoy live art. So special thank you to our patrons, Jessica Kozakic, Emily Chow, Kalalili, and Renee Edmonds. In particularly, Renee Edmonds, Emily Chow, and Kalalili for being regulars. And thank you so much, Jessica Kozakic, for sponsoring one of our weekly workshops. And a special, amazing, you guys are the bomb shout out to Alice Grimm and Sarah O'Connell for pledging $100 a month in support of one of our venues, the Allen Bluford Center. If you like what you are seeing or just love the arts in general, then head on over to patreon.com/richoakevents. There you can sign up at different tiers of support. Any contribution you give helps us meet our goals, pay our venues, and give back to the community. If this interests you, head over to patreon.com/richoakevents. If monthly isn't your thing, you can also donate to us one time via Cash App at #RichOakEvents or Venmo at RichOakSlam. Thank you so much. And now, let's get on to our show. We have an amazing slam for you today. For those of you who don't know, slam is a competition. We have a list of poets. They will be judged from 0.0 to 10.0. But first, we have some rules. First off, for the poets, no props, no musical accompaniment, no animal acts, no costumes, no nudity. This is a family show. We came here to see poetry, not genitals. But most importantly, you have 3 minutes with a grace period of 10 seconds to say whatever you want. After 3 minutes and a grace period of 10 seconds, points will be deducted by our scorekeeper, Prophet. Give it up for Prophet for doing math on a Wednesday evening. And at 4 minutes, you will be muted because we have a whole bunch of poets and not too much time to get through them. And we would love to respect everyone's time, especially since we have viewers, judges, and performers from different time zones. So the top 5 poets from round 1 make it into round 2. We also have our time-honored tradition. It is a tradition, goddammit. It is word of the day. A word of the day is we choose a random word that poets have to work into their poetry organically. They can't just put it in the title like, this poem is called blah, blah, blah. Here's a poem about my dad. No, work it into your poem. Today's word of the day is pecuniary, if I'm saying that right. Someone tell me I'm saying that right or wrong. Okay, no one's telling me shit.
To me.
That's correct. That's correct. I just heard the Merriam-Webster that you are correct with that.
Yes, cool. So pecuniary, consisting of or measured in money, or of or relating to money. So if it's got to do with money, it's pecuniary. So if you use pecuniary, pecuniariatic, or pecuniarying, or pecuniaried, or any variation of pecuniary in your poem, you will be given an extra point. Judges, do not worry about that. Our scorekeeper will handle that. And on to our rules for judges. Speaking of y'all have the illustrious task of scoring the poets from 0.0 to 10.0. A 0.0 is absolutely the worst piece of shit you have ever heard in your life. You would not wipe your ass with the paper that this poem was written on, and yet you are standing here in this Zoom meeting listening to it in your own home. That is a 0. A 10.0 is the best thing you have ever heard in your life. Not only is it toilet paper in a world where toilet paper somehow went on a shortage, it is 4-ply toilet paper. You are wiping your ass with a pillow. And that is the same type of like uplifting experience that this poem has given to you. So thus, as you may expect, there aren't many zeros, there aren't many 10s. Score accordingly. We have this thing called score creep, where as the night goes on and you may or may not be drinking, the poetry starts to sound even more better and you score higher and higher and higher. We ask that you stay as consistent as possible so that the first poet gets as big of a chance to win as the last poet that goes up. We will have a sacrifice to help you with this. This poet is not in the slam. However, you will judge them as if they are in the slam. They are your practice. So anybody you like more, score them higher. Anybody you like, score them lower, but stay consistent. And next, we have the audience. Yes, I'm about to tell y'all what to do in the comfort of your own home. First, like, share, and subscribe to our IG, Twitter, and Facebook at the Berkeley Slam. Be energetic, show energy, comment on the feed, let these poets know how much you love them. Y'all really do help make this show. So if you like something, say it in the comment section. If a line really resonated with you, comment that, but show your love. That's how we know we're doing our job out here. And number 3, freedom of speech. What does that mean, Colin? I'm so glad I pretended y'all asked. Freedom of speech means that anybody can come up here and say whatever the fuck they want to say. However, freedom of speech does not mean freedom from accountability. So if someone says something fucked up, you can let them know. You can have a conversation with them. I highly encourage having conversations. That's what poetry is supposed to do. It's supposed to start conversations. If you do not feel comfortable starting those conversations, let somebody on the crew know. We can have those conversations, but the only way we can learn from each other is if we talk to each other. And the only way we'll talk to each other is if we feel like we can say what is fully on our minds. That being said, are we ready to start the show? Woo! No, we are not ready to start the show because we do need our sacrifice, someone to get you ready for poetry, to spill the blood. So, on deck, we have Damani Thomas. But coming up to the stage, give maximum love to your sacrifice of the night. Give it up for Colin. Woo!
Woo!
Woo! Ha ha ha. I'm totally not the host. Okay. Let me find this poem. Or I can do one off memory. Okay. If I die young, don't you dare put me on an airbrush t-shirt. I don't want my kindergarten picture next to some lowriders or in them ghetto ass clouds. I don't want my legacy to be worn as a garment. I don't want the words rest in peace on my gravestone like my life was a revolution, like this revolution was peaceful, like anyone can find peace in a death like this, like peace can be found in lifeless black boys, like black boys find peace because we only find bullets and rope. Instead, at my funeral, lower me into the ground in silence. Slowly cover my body in the dirt I once walked on and let me rest. Let me rest. Let my name be crucified. Don't resurrect me as a hashtag. Make me the poster child of a movement that you never really cared to start when I was alive. But I don't want to be just another dead black boy either. Why do we always have to die to mean something? Why does freedom sound so much like an execution? My brother says that we immortalize the names of our fallen on our tongues. Let their spirits dance from our lips, but what if I don't want to live forever? Want for you to fight so hard for my spirit to live on, when all I ever wanted to do was just live. Thank you. Woo! Gang, 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 gang,
Come on
gang.
now.
Give it up one more time for our sacrifice, Colin. Woo! Who was that guy? It was kind of good.
Hosts in this house.
All right, judges, you know what to do. Send your scores to our scorekeeper, Prophet. Put them up, 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 put them up. All right. So we are now officially ready to start our show. So on deck, we have Gray Violet. But coming up to the stage right now, give maximum love to Damani Thomas.
Gang, 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 gang. Is that the defender of Oakland?
Drake's ghostwriter. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
We can hear you.
The one drop rule asserts that anyone with even one Black ancestor is considered Black. During antebellum slavery and the following civil rights era, the one drop rule was often used to disenfranchise and oppress. The Black, Irish, Native Creole discusses the one drop rule. Before the FBI, CIA, NSA, I skip pleasure and focus on vanity. I'm a stir fry of people that never happened. In one story, my forced reproduction is a few generations away from an almost pecuniary ballot. In another, my birth is a few consents away from a love song. To be honest, I'm an internalized anti-Black 6, but a paper bag 10. I'm like somewhat attractive when I cut my hair off. I can pass the paper bag test if I stay inside for seasons and corpse. I come out sick and lose most of my limbs, but have all my rights. Perhaps colorism is charity work. Like if Blackness is savagery, sex with lighter tones is a challenge in diluting memory. Before I was Black, I was a citizen somewhere. I was one vote from retirement. I was called satellite and they meant sun you can hold without burning, angel thing watching over. I voted for a manifest destiny of no one sacrificed and was given a blood test. I'm told I'm part type abolitionist and drapetomaniac. If my family tree is gaslit back onto the plantation, is that considered eco-friendly? Is this one drop rule ever going to leave? In the midst of all this blood, sweat, and tears, there was cum, and we strained out sperm like fresh rice to keep the white. My grandfather clauses his bad leg and canes for his unemployment check. I'm bitter that I'm not more ambiguous, more exotic, more water ripple, more nude color. Rumor has it Thomas Jefferson let his slave children escape as a gift. Here's the story of the marriage that almost was. Here's the mixed baby that passes and the family deported. My blood quanta forgets the war in an exchange. My blood quanta blisters. My Blackness hijacks the conversation. Asks, what does the Black native say to the Black Irish? If I wasn't killable, I'd be killable. I'd be promises at noon and pipeline by evening. I'm looking for a percentage. How many love stories ended in sorry for my blood to thin? In 2020, voter suppression keeps the same form. A locked door, burned mail, a miscounted vote, White Hood storm a polling facility and everything goes missing, except for the blood.
What?
Right. Give it up one more time for Damani Thomas. Woo. Gang, 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 gang. And our sacrifice got a score of 26.8. All right, judges, y'all are now experts. I trust that y'all know what y'all are doing, that you know how to score poets, which means audience, you can let them know fully how you feel about those scores. If you like them, if you love them, let them know. All right, to move on with the show on deck, we have Reggie, but coming up to the stage right now, give maximum love to Gray Violet. Woo!
That's great.
Ooh.
Hi. Oh. Can everyone hear me?
Yep. We can hear
Mic
you.
check. Okay.
We can hear you.
If girlhood meant innocence, then was I a girl? If curves were secrets barely spoken, why couldn't my curves keep quiet? Why couldn't they fade away like the proverbial breeze that ran through my hair as I basked in my innocence? in my ignorance. How could I be aware and still be a girl? How could I know that men's roving eyes barely ever meant me well, but still smell the roses? You know, smell and taste are closely linked. I can taste the shame of having to once more cover up, so no, I can't sniff these roses without them smelling a little sour. The smell of womanhood, however, is sweeter. It smells like attitude and independence and ownership. Ownership of the curves I was taught to hide. Ownership of the mouth that can now yell at the people who stare. Ownership of my hair and how I want it to look. Ownership that for 18 years I allowed to be taken. On my 18th year of life, I swear to open the blinds, awaken to the feeling of coffee-stained stress and the anxiety of endless possibilities. Maybe womanhood is harder than I thought, but girlhood is harder than I know, so I forge forward. I speak loudly because to be shushed means to be noticed. And to start quiet means you have nowhere to go. I know that I can be a bit much, but I am still getting used to the notion that I can take up space. Like, sorry if my anger is misplaced, but who knew I could be angry? Who knew that the swirl of my hips wasn't a source of shame, but a source of power? That in the swirl of these uncertain hips were secrets and knowledge and life. That even the mere silhouette of my figure could create fear. And if we're talking about swirl, and let's not forget curl, every gravity-defying strand of hair held the strengths of beautiful women before me, who looked like me, who dreaded the unknown path of womanhood, but left me breadcrumbs so I could always find my way back to what is familiar. My hair was only peculiar to untrained eyes. My words only foreign to an untrained ear. No talking down or speaking right can make these words go away. As a woman, I have the power to make my words stay, to use stories as my breadcrumbs, weave strength into my unborn daughter's hair, stretch as far as my body will allow to expand the box they might feel like they have to be in. I sacrifice the pleasantries of a girl for the never-ending fight of a woman so that my girls don't have to, so that their roses may never sour, so that the taste of innocence will never have to compete with ignorance, so that their fight with roving eyes will never cut through them the way it cut through me, so that my girls can be free, so that woman can be free. Because my girls deserve more than just the crumbs of girlhood that was left for me. Thank you.
Woo.
Woo!
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Give it up one more time for Gray Violet. Woo! Gang, 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 gang. All right. And for reference, Damani got a score of a 28.5. Let them know how you feel. Let them know how you feel.
Woo. Yeah. Woo, woo, woo,
Oh, it
woo.
wasn't a 30, so whatever.
They'll get the cue soon. They're poets, not actors. All right, but if you've liked any of the amazing poetry that you have seen so far, and you have been inspired to write one of your own, and you have nowhere to go, meet us before the show every Wednesday at 7 p.m. via Zoom. We have a writing workshop where we take beginning writers all the way up to top tier poets, and we have guided writing prompts, strategies, brainstorming, so that everybody can become a better writer. So if that interests you, check out our Instagram, check out our Twitter at the Berkeley Slam for more information on that. But on to the show. On deck we have but coming up to the stage, give maximum love for Reggie. Woo!
Can y'all hear?
I hear you, yeah.
Elegy for the Hood. There is a ghost town in the south of Richmond where the houses line themselves up like tombstones, empty themselves of flesh, of bone, of blood spilt on the concrete out front of the corner market where they shot that man just for being Black. So this open mouth was an invitation for violence, said he should have closed his lips if he wasn't ready to swallow bullets, and that's why everybody got a deadbolt here. You don't know what might try to kill you if you leave the door wide open, how your spirit might escape your body tonight if you don't keep it locked away. A black ghost locked away in a black body, and don't call it a prison. Call it a home. Call it pecuniary safety. Up the street from my house, there is a liquor store. Down the street, another liquor store. Left, right, and center, you guessed it, a liquor store, and the entire hood drowns in addiction. Says, if they can't kill us, then we'll kill ourselves, and my block becomes a graveyard of bottles, of crack pipes, of needles. I keep shards of broken glass like obituaries for every friend I have lost to these streets. Take their sharpest edges to my skin. I crawl out of my own veins, and the concrete swallows me like it is thirsty just for my blood. I pour a piece of myself out on 36th, 29th, 23rd Streets, one drop for the homie and the rest for me. Not even I am safe from death in my hood. I just die a little differently than most. Like the other day in the park where I carved my name into the tree I was sitting under and closed my eyes. I was so still. You wouldn't have believed I was alive at all. The leaves, just another headstone overlooking the blackest bones. My body is a constant prison riot. There are days where I want to die just because I am watching my neighborhood wither away too. There are days where I keep my door unlocked as an invitation to death. Like, look how easy it would be to take me. Sneak up in the dead of night and nobody would know that I am gone until the morning when I die. Bury me in Kennedy Park, under the tallest pine tree. My epitaph is already tattooed into the trunk. A black ghost frees itself from a black body, and nobody calls it a jailbreak. We don't call it anything at all. That's just how this hood is. Niggas will live and die by these streets in the same breath, and not even their ghosts are left behind to fill the empty space.
Woo! Give it up one more
Come on,
time
Ma.
for Reggie.
Woo.
Woo!
What? Oh,
All right. And for reference, Gray Violet got a score of a 27.8. Let them know how you feel.
It wasn't
told you
a
they were
30. Why are you here?
That
It's
was
not a 30.
better.
Poets may not be actors, but they learn quickly. All right. So on deck, we have Imani Sundiata. If I am saying that wrong, please correct me. But give maximum love to the next poet coming up on stage. Give it up for my woo.
Hi, can y'all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Cool. The last time they called me a slur was not the last time they told me I wasn't oppressed. And the first time they called me a sinner was my last prayer. That prayer never ended though. That prayer spits helplessness or death. Every time I say hello is a time I am not ready to say goodbye. I only say goodnight or hello again. I can't risk my goodbye being taken as a death wish / sentence, yet you never see a life sentence on the white cis straight man. I already wear my straitjacket, just waiting for the chains to tighten around these wrists, hands still clasped in prayer. I used to have chain necklaces. These days, the noose is the only thing I have left to adorn my chest with. I dream in mother tongue and wake dressed in queer, and wait to be put out or to sleep. This body only rests at 4:26 in the night or morning, waiting for this body to caress these sheets and claim bed to be home or casket. The last time I was called a whore was the first time I flashed tits at the sound of the word. Also, the first time my life flashed before my eyes, but not the last. The first time I was called a loving person was not the last time that blindly was put in front of it. The prayer I started 5 centuries ago for the queer bitch that I am came about 2 days after the splitting of the seas, or lungs, or bottle, or eye sockets, or everything that holds salt water when it shouldn't. These days, the only thing left to cry is blood. Sweat and tears make a mockery of exercise when I am the excise. I am the crossing of borders that needs pecuniary funding. I am the handing over of goods, because you plucked at your hand of cards like a blind deck and got me. You sighed, tried to bleed the queer out of me, so I prayed the unending prayer and waited for it to be over. So I walk home, still chained and noose decorated, still full of salt water and never saying goodbye, still a body of forgiveness when none is due. This vessel plays with love, while mine plays with devil, but aren't those the same thing for a queer bitch? Thank you.
Woo!
Come on now.
Give
Come on.
one more round of applause for my woo.
Yeah.
All right. And for reference, Reggie got a score of a 29.6. Let them know how you feel.
Woo!
All right. Gang. If you like this show or follow us at the Berkeley Slam, you can also check out our other shows at Rich Oak Events, the Rich Oak Alchemy Slam at Rich Oak Alchemy, and the Oakland Slam at Oakland Slam. And if you like any of the poets that you hear, check out Bay Poets Unite on YouTube to see if they have a video up. And if they don't have a video up, they will have a video up soon. But we like to support our local artists. So we have a YouTube channel that uploads videos from artists from the Bay Area. So definitely check that out. But on deck, we have Dog Days Are Over. But coming up to the stage, give maximum love to Imani Sundiata. Woo!
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Found poem in which Shekinah Hills, text from Amy Nazakumatatil, Jana Shell, and Brittany Marshall. After the sun dissolves, everybody mourns. The sun never asks for its breath back, and the forecast does not look good today. She healed outside of his delivery zone in the hood like a gaping hole. The sun don't own this house in the hood just dissolves like secrets that everybody mourns, a triangle of trauma called at homelessness or lack of identity, to wonder why the sun left with the departing ships like a gold ghost, or like how round bellies feel when the body is lost, called at homelessness, or lost, or like a black sick thunder and a kiss that never acts to feel good in this house. Silent, get lost in trauma and ask for our breath back. To my sister, my father's name, Marifa, sounds like a dissolving sun, like a gaping hole in her life when he left with the departing ships, called that homelessness, to live in the hood and not heal, to hide inside trauma, to remember feeling black, sick at the funeral, but too guilty to mourn in this house. I ask for his breath back, and what returns to me is a triangle of trauma with endpoints at my sister, my father, at me. I ask for his breath back, and what returns to me is all the secrets we hid inside of, and what returns to me is a gold ghost that everybody mourns, except my sister, because when I was 4, I asked for my father's breath back, but in doing so, I used my breath to accuse my sister of killing his breath with her breath, and the sun don't own this trauma of a hood. She does. Delivery man don't deliver healings to hood like those. Say she falls outside of his delivery zone, call that homelessness too. To not be able to grieve and accept all this dissolving, to live inside a hood of trauma that no one was aware even existed. Call that a dissolving body. Call that a no longer silent ghost. Call that a lost hood. Call that hers. Tell her he was a dissolving sun in her homelessness too. Tell her she didn't cause departing. Tell her it's okay. Tell her she can warn him. Tell her to ask for her breath back, tell her if she needs to, she can heal now.
All right, give it up one more time for Imani Sundiata. Woo! All right, that was amazing. It was a little choppy for us, but it was clear for the stream, so that is great. Because all right, and for reference, my got a score of a 28. Let them know how you feel, audience and poets. That's y'all.
Woo!
Ooh, we can do better.
All right, messages. All right, so on deck we have our amazing feature. Let us know if you know who our feature is. Nobody knows.
I do.
So like two people know.
I do.
I do.
Okay, that's what I thought. If you don't know, you are going to learn today. We have our amazing feature on deck. But coming up to the stage, we have the last poet of the first round. Give it up for Dog Days Are Over.
Yes. Bra, bra, bra.
The collective consciousness of lungs speaks, and the sky started raining ashes. I hide under every rib cage, awaiting Armageddon. So many hosts of mine are collapsing into their bodies, stained with glass. These mustard sky stench of smoke and virus. So you see that I am a flame, internal, external, branched limbs, infernal and sweltering heat, corporate carbon dioxide choking my throat into a cornucopia of white knotted gloves. And so I must keep breathing. I found it to be the most revolutionary act thus far. When it comes to hosts, more melanin means greater chances of collapse. I am imploding bungalow in the rib cages of a family of brown bodies, inhaling smog. I am brown body family, rib caged in a burning house, exhaling fire. I see the world through shattered eyelids and broken wrists. I am a body myself as well. My lungs are rainforest, burning like crucifixes. White supremacy knows how to choke a melanin body in more ways than one. The uppercase world safeguards me blindly, capitalizes my breath until there's no nitrogen left. Lowercase world holds me raw and rough, capitalism's my breath until there's no survival choking. Veins of freeways choke my geography. Black and brown bodies know these veins best. They bleed internally. Every time gentrification clouds their lungs with titanium factories and dead, hard, shriveled arteries of concrete. Hector, I know how hard it's been evacuating before the siren wails amidst the smell of burning redwoods, partitioned from your family by a sliding glass wall as they recover from their pandemic lungs, sheltered in an unfamiliar home. Survival mode even when asleep, but your family was on fire. The embers have subsided as the flames adjacent to your current sanctified sanctuary, breathing in ambient sound vibrations to resonate back into the alive of your lungs. You, I, we are alive. You, I, we are no longer in survival mode. Breathe into me. Hold me in your ribcage like the most precious fireplace to cradle your sunsets at slumber. Lift up your eyes, my unbrokening child, for now you are home inside your own body again. Thank you.
All right, give it up one more time for Dog Days Are Over. Woo, 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 woo. And for reference, Imani got a 29.1. Let them know how you feel. How you feel. Somebody said woo in the
Yes.
comment section.
Mm-hmm. Yup. Amani, yup.
Oh, nice. So we have people who listen to their cue points. Yes, you'll be heavily rewarded with all my gratitude, I guess, because I'm not giving money for gratitude. All right. We have our amazing feature next. I'm really excited. They are an amazing artist, of course, from the South. Because everybody who's come to our stage from the South has absolutely killed it recently. And this is gonna be exactly the same. So I'm gonna get into this bio. SHA'CONDRIA iCON Sibley is an Alexandria, Louisiana native / New Orleans, Louisiana based award-winning poet, author, performing artist, visual artist, teaching artist, event curator, and curator of the viral Little Black Girl with a Big Name movement. First of all, if my resume had any of that, had half of that. Oh shit. Multifaceted artist, multiple time National Poetry Slam champion and performer. She travels the country speaking at universities and has made many television and stage appearances, including at Essence Musical Festival. Her work has been featured on many outlets such as Huffington Post, For Harriet, Teen Vogue, BET, and BBC World Radio. She has also featured on musical projects with national recording artists and has co-written 2 short films. iCON uses her work / words largely to speak on her existence as a Black woman as they relate to identity, family, community, faith, and healing. Whew! That is, the bio is a poem, but we are going to get to some real poems from the amazing iCON. Woo!
What's up, y'all? Thank you so much, Colin, for being an amazing host, first of all, and for Berkeley Slam for having me tonight. It is such an honor. I wish I were there in person with you all, but it's gonna happen one day soon. So in honor of the vice presidential race tonight, or debate tonight, I am going to throw out a few titles. I sometimes work backwards. I'll create the titles first for poems, and then I go back and write the poem. So once I throw out these titles, if there's one y'all fucking with, I want y'all to snap for me or put it in the chat, and I'll write a poem based on that. Y'all ready? All right. So the name of this poem is Congratulations, America, on your 45th president, Donald J. Trump, or What the Fuck Just Happened, or the name of this poem is Voting is Just Like the First Time You Tried to Have Sex, but you only got the tip in, it don't count, or Electoral Votes Matter, or the name of this poem is The Slave Master versus the Slave Mistress, Pick Your Poison, or Their Cotton, or Stuck Between Barack and the Hard Place, or the name of this poem is Now Instead of Going to the Big House, Criminals Are Sentenced to 4 years in the White House, or If the Toupee Fits, You Must Acquit, or the name of this poem is How to Be a Blatant Misogynist and Still Get the Majority of White Women's Votes, or How to grab a 13-year-old by the pussy and get away with it, or the name of this poem is How to Go Bankrupt over 4 times and Still Be Considered Rich and Still Be Considered a Good Businessman instead of a good crook, or the name of this poem is Started at the Bottom of the Wealthiest 1%, Now He Here, or the name of this poem is How Money is Not Enough to Buy Most of Us a Decent Living, but it could buy a white man freedom, or How Money Can't Buy You Love, but it could buy a white man a trophy wife, or 2, or 3, or the name of this poem is How to Hate Immigrants Even Though Your Mama was one and so were 2 of your wives, or the name of this poem is Donald Trump's mother makes a deal with the devil right after she gives birth to him, or The name of this poem is How to Be the Poster Child for White Supremacy, Even Though You're Orange. Or the name of this poem is Orange is the New Bigot. Bigot is the old patriot. Patriot is the new terrorist. Or the name of this poem is The Old White Fart is the Same Old Bullshit. Or the name of this poem is Let's Make America Hate Again. Or Hate, an American Love Story. Or How to Write a Love Story About Your Country Using the Blood of Those Who Actually Built It. Or the name of this poem is People Who Lived in Glass Houses Shouldn't Throw Rocks in Order to Build Walls. Or the name of this poem is How to Incite a Race War for Dummies, How to Invoke Anarchy for Dummies, or When Things Like This System Fall Apart, or There Is Nothing to Fear, Not Even the Dismantling of White Supremacy Itself, or I Got a Good One. The name of this poem is I Ain't Never Scared, or We Ain't Never Scared, or With All the Shit we survived in this country, why in the fuck should we be? Or the name of this poem is The Wake-Up Call. Or the name of this poem is When the Fried Chickens Come Home to Roost. Or the name of this poem is What Happens When America Actually Becomes Great for the First Time. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Give me a title in the comment section.
Yo, can you like give us space to breathe? What the fuck?
Woo!
And I'll actually go write the poem once y'all give me the title that you fuck with the most. Again, my name is SHA'CONDRIA, iCON Sibley. It's such an honor to be here. I'll give y'all a couple of poems. Thank you for your time, your energy, your ears, your attention. I'm gonna do this poem next. So because I think Prophet mentioned it is one of the reasons why I want to do it. This poem is, if anybody's seen Color Purple, this is Miss Seeley speaks to Mary, or Seeley the Black Madonna. So part one, Juke Joint. She called me a virgin, and everything in me wanted to call her a blasphemer because I know what virgin means. I also know what somebody climbing on top of me to do his business means. See, the man who me and my sister Nettie called our father showed me first. Then a man who name I ain't eat much know till Suge say it first, so I just call him Mr. They beat it into my bones with they mouths and they fists and even they bodies, till I forgot that I even had a body. Believed all this body was good for was business and birth and babies. So when she say, why, Miss Seeley, that means you still a virgin. I remember that to be virgin means to be desired, to be praised and worshiped like idol, and not to have your body used simply as confessional, like it be an ugly secret. You know, a show is ugly secret, like maybe it be a place for sinners to come and spill all they moonshine sins. Part two, sanctuary. You know, one day I was feeling down. I was feeling mighty low when she came and gave me permission to stop hiding behind a closed mouth and pride opened legs, to finally see myself the way I came into this world, you know, without burden or shame, to smile big and wide and free of judgment. And that day when I seen me in that mirror, I know there's a God. I knows that I ain't have to follow no man alive on earth to find heaven. And it got me to thinking about Mary, about how her body was only used for business and birthing babies too. That ain't nobody ever take the time to peel back the black and the ugly to find her wings or find her angel enough to ever know heaven. Even though Mary's body also be what everyone else need to get to heaven, they self, you know, funny how everyone else can crucify your body to get to a place that they don't even find you worthy of being. So Mary, I think about you all the time. Like, sister, you've been on my mind. Like, I know what it's like to only be worth your weight and what you can do for mankind, and how you ain't asked for none of this. Not even Joseph's sorry ass hand in marriage. and how even though your name be used by some to lift the heavy of heavenly petitions, or praised only for what you have pushed out and not pushed back, you still be seen as confessional, as a place for sinners to come and cover you in all of their guilt and sin, but never can they erase the holy of you. And why, Mary, that means you still a virgin. All right, we're gonna keep it moving. A couple more poems. And so, in speaking of just trying times, this is a dedication to my family, and it's not in any way. If anything, it is a testament to how strong we can be in the face of adversary and like mental health and like keeping ourselves, you know, together. And I have sometimes masked that in humor and in being the pleasant person to be around and in jokes and all of those things. And so I've always been somewhat of a comedian, right? It's almost like I was born funny. For I come from a family of folk who know how to turn life's lemons into a tasty punch line. That being said, I too have mastered the art of the clever comeback, like how in life, being a funny thing itself tries to rib on me like, yo, SHA'CONDRIA, your Black woman life is so worthless, and I, being the witty creature that I am, quickly interrupted and respond by waking up every day. And I know you may wonder, where is the humor in that? And I say, never mind, it's an inside joke. Inside meaning one I keep locked inside of this padded cell of a brain where on most days I am so hilarious so I crack my own self up, but how on others I find myself scraping those same pieces off the stage like a busted tomato thrown after a bad joke. So tell me the answer to this riddle. What do you call a girl who grew up with a schizophrenic grandmother, a bipolar uncle, and a paranoid schizophrenic little cousin? Girl, you so crazy. I mean, must be, because people say it so often, not realizing that mental illnesses run so rampant in my family, so we've had to learn how to prescribe ourselves the best medicine we could find: laughter. Like, remember that time during one of his manic episodes when Uncle Eric cut off all his hair in the middle? Looked like he went to the barbershop and said, yo, son, let me get that George Jefferson. Or remember how I used to put Will in his crib. Now he's so volatile, I'm too afraid to invite him into my own. See how my family finds a way to drown out the sound of tragedy with gut-busting laughter? How the only way we know how to cry is when our sides hurt so much from laughing at our own pain. But even in all of this, I still can't help but feel like God is the one laughing the loudest. So I try my best to keep my own mental health in check, because shit, I would hate to be the butt of one of his jokes. I've seen the way he can turn a punch line into a slice across someone's wrist, or how he can take a funny family and turn it into the Wayans or my own, or a poet who happens to know how to make people laugh into a comedian, or the joke. You know, the one where my DNA plays a heartless prankster who likes to give a little joy and then turn around and take it all back with each bout of depression, like it got more Sykes than Wanda, to the point where I'm finding it hard to still find this shit funny, but I still laugh anyhow. Because each day that I wake up, I am a heckler in life's audience when it tries to play the dirty dozens with my sanity. I show it whose name is really on the marquee, and then I point to me and I say, hey, yo, life, what do you call a group of people who have seen each other split wide open, yet have found a way to heal themselves by leaving everyone else in stitches? My family. Still not laughing? Never mind. It's an inside joke.
Let's go. Roscoe Horn.
God damn.
Thank y'all. So I have one more, one short poem and then one more regular poem if I have enough time to do that. So the short poem, let's get to it. It's gonna take up too much time. So I'm not sure who first said that it don't, but Black do crack. In fact, Black cracks so much till it's often etched in smoke stains all over Black lips. Pardon me. Black cracked so much till it got smile lines hollowed out by pain. A void filled with laughter, filled with punchlines from the best ribbing sessions and yo mama jokes. Yo, black cracked so much till it ain't to be tried, ain't to be fucked with. Black crack till its heels become hardened from marching and making our dance look more like entertainment than prayer, than ritual. Black got wrinkles and dimples and stretch marks and dark marks and scars and gashes and lashes and keloids. Black got gangrene and rope burns and spine sprouting choke cherry trees. Got gaping holes the size of all the things the devil stole. Yo, I don't know who said it first, but black do crack, dries up like raisin, but ain't never been afraid of the sun. Yo, black do crack, sometimes bursts wide open, but never does it break. Even when the sky or this world does, black gonna still be here, still gonna be smiling, still gonna be laughing, still gonna be dancing, still gonna be living, still gonna be looking nothing like what it done been through. And last poem. Thank y'all so much for the love, the energy, all the poets who have gone up before. Y'all have just blessed my whole soul and inspired me to go touch that pen once I get off here. So last poem is just a little inspiration that comes from my grandmothers, Mama Diaz, all the women and people who have built and made me, who made a lot of something out of nothing. You know, I watched Mama Dia take a few cups of cornmeal, a half a gallon of milk, and a couple of eggs, and she would feed her entire family. I watched both my grandmothers take the bitterness of divorce and turn it into some of the sweetest homemade cakes you've ever tasted. I watched my own mother take an unplanned teenage pregnancy and years of ridicule and turn it into over 30 years of marriage, a career in education, and an award-winning poet for a daughter. See, I'm from a long line of women who had to take life's most bitter ingredients and turn it into something worth licking your plates for. Women whose hands are laced with wrinkles and stardust, who weave miracles from misfortune. See, you can call them women, call them mothers, call them alchemists, hell, even call them magicians, but whatever you call them, you better make sure you call them ma'am or Mrs., because they are the type of women who demand respect. No hand on hip or roll of neck to keep you in check. Nah, my mama and Mama Dia, they the type of women whose eyes say everything their mouths never need to. See, the women in my family, they inhale life's pollution and exhale gospel. They are walking, talking hymnals, perfect verses of chestnut skin and big bones set over organs and strong heartbeats, all testimony and healing, all holy and how I got over. See, the women in my family, they be bridges over troubled waters. Beautiful examples of how to take life's storms and turn them into baptisms. And some days, I don't feel worthy of this kind of salvation. For I know I have been saved by their blood, sweat, and tears. Some days, no matter how much I accomplish, I wonder if I am doing such a legacy any justice. Oh, what a cross to bear. And see, this world will try to make you forget the strength in your own spine, even when it's in your DNA to bend and never break, even after you give and give and give and never take anything for yourself. See, the women in my family have taught me that you can sometimes be seen as savior, but never as angel. That's why we've had to learn how to take the scars on our shoulders and carve out our own wings, which is to say, we don't need the world to tell us we fly. Although it would be a nice gesture, well-deserved recognition, but thankfully, our mamas and Medias, they taught us how to be our own tambourines, which is to say, they taught us how to shake the devil off our backs and Holy Ghost dance all over that motherfucker's back. Now, see, their ancestors taught them that. See, these were the things that could not be drowned in the Atlantic Ocean, and for them we say, hallelujah. For all those who came before us, we say thank you, God, for I am from a long line of women who know how to turn classrooms and kitchens into pulpits, women who be teachers, nurses, social workers, and cooks, the type of women who have taught me when your life becomes a sermon that don't nobody else want to hear. Hell, sometimes you got to be your own. Amen. 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 A woman. Thank y'all so much. It has been my absolute honor and pleasure to serve you and to share with you on tonight. I'm ready to hear some more poetry, so I'm going to mute myself. Thank you so much, Berkeley Slam, and for everyone who's tuning in. I'm SHA'CONDRIA, iCON, Sibley, once again. Good night.
All right, I'm gonna need y'all to give one more big ass round of applause for our amazing feature, iCON. Woo!
Yeah!
Yes.
Absolutely amazing. I bet you everyone in here feels honored that you want to hear our poetry after that, because goddamn. And speaking of the amazing poets in this round, the first round scores were hella close. So close, in fact, that we were just like, fuck it. There's only 6 people on the list. We take 5. We're gonna take all 6 of y'all, because we want to hear more from you. So all 6 poets have made it into the second round. The second round will look like this: Dog Days Are Over, Imani Sundiata, Mai, Reggie, Gray Violet, and then Damani Thomas. Get one more round of applause to everybody touching the stage tonight. Woo! See, these poets don't want to clap for themselves. Always want to clap for somebody else, but never want to clap for themselves. But that being said, we are almost ready to start our second round. But the judges, y'all have been like not actually like having to judge for like 15, 20 minutes. So we are going to have another sacrifice to get you back in the spirit of being some judgmental motherfuckers. So on deck, we have Dog Days Are Over, but coming up to the stage, give maximum love to our sacrifice, Tino. Woo!
I know it says Reggie, but I'm Tino. What's up, y'all? iCON, thank you. That was wonderful. This poem is called Ode to Cholula. They say there were no weapons allowed in the city, and that was enough reason to massacre. I think no one imagined that something would be left standing or made a mound of. Instead, the upchuck remains of something foreign. Everyone has a name for it, and isn't fit in their molars. I wonder what skin was set aflame here, what hair was unbraided, what sun witnesses the unhappening of its people. The flint arrows chime in and say they were never fired, but blood was always labeled savage, made an animal of. Thus, Inquisition must be inevitable. Something must be spilled to make way for the new. Not everything sacred is consecrated. Everything damned haunts the language that commits the genocide. There are so many fields for the dead, all of them unhonored gravesites. Every temple turned to mound, every mound surmounted by a church, every church an arrival of a future no one consented to. How you're taught to not speak lightly of blood, how reminiscences become the chain link to ancestry, how I learned to speak of the dead in past tense, or how skin is weaponized against me, how I'm seeing nothing more than the knife they twisted. I want to see myself at the end of violence, with unclenched fists and braided hair. Even in claiming my beauty, there is blood of mine I've been forced to wade through, just the end of the foothill of a church, just to climb over bodies, fall to my knees, and swear.
Woo! Give it up one more time for our sacrifice, Tino. Gang, 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 gang. All right. So on deck, we have Imani Sundiata. But coming up to the stage right now, give maximum love for Dog Days Are Over. Woo!
White men fucking love getting my attention in in Santa Cruz. My brown body glance, blessing to your savior complex. My gaze melding with yours like you deserve it. My presence, your opportunity at proving your colorblind intellect by crucifying my attention, my body a museum for your gawking gaze, my shirtless body jogging an invitation for your commentary like, damn, this is exactly what femme-passing people endure every damn epoch they kiss the street with calloused feet. I'd be mad as hell too. Shit. My male privilege crawls out my throat and is painted brown, but can still scream. Never have I jogged and felt like spectacle just for existing. Old ass white dude jaywalks to U-turn behind me in broad fucking daylight. Oh wait, can you all hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Someone called me. Daylight. I fucking book it. I am liminal, split in my anxiety. If my male is threatening and my brown spectacle, then maybe femme is museum in the eyes of putrid men. I'll gawk and touch, consentless and dick-brained. And for me, it's usually white teen sardine grouped into wide bands like COVID isn't still chokehold on America. I backpack my journey on the sidewalk and I'm yelled at to stay in school as if I'm not a fucking rising UCSC senior. Another pale voice just screams, "You like, dude, what the fuck?" The only white people I give my attention to are one, friendly strangers who don't talk with an edge in their voice at the sight of my melanin. 2, friends who are willing to listen to my narrative. 3, artists not colonizing the cornucopia of another culture's vibrant, color-drenched tongue. 4, my light-skinned cousins, though not free from colorism, as in I only give my attention to any canvas that refuses to stay blank, and pearly milk knows the absence of color means the bleach-stained erasure of millions of genocided bodies. Just minutes after drafting out this poem, I'm walking down the moonlit street. Shoreline's not loud enough to shelter my ears from the crazed yell of fuck from across the street. A fucking white dude triggering my fight or flight, as in a fucking lighthouse of a dude disguises itself as a siren and tries beckoning me shoreward. Fuck. My boyfriend suggests air horns to at least break some form of silence. Fuck. And I laugh at his wit, and I laugh at the stupidity of white lighthouses, and I laugh because I'm privilegedly safe. I'm safe.
Woo! Give it up one more time for Hector, also known as Dog Days Are Over. Gang, 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 gang. And for reference, Dog Days Are Over's first round score was a 27.9 because I didn't say that earlier. And our sacrifice, Tino, also got a 27.9. Let them know how you feel. I see some thumbs down, some thumbs up, some in between. Gang, gang. Also, someone called Hector in the middle of their poem. I would just like to say, for the poets out there doing these Zoom slams, do not disturb mode is like really godlike for these things, because I've had people call me in performances. So do not disturb mode for future reference for performers really helps so that you don't get calls. But on deck, we have but coming up to the stage right now, give maximum love to Imani Sundiata. Woo!
Woo! Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Klonopin, Zoloft, Xanax. Klonopin, Zoloft, Xanax. Klonopin, Zoloft, Xanax. Popping pills, body chills. Bottles on my person. Klonopin, Zoloft, Xanax. I said anxiety attack. Mama heard doctor's visit. Doctor said depression. Mama said hand me down the family crown of mental illness. I said numb me. Doctor said Klonopin, Zoloft, Xanax. Daddy said, Daddy didn't say anything. How could he from the grave? Sometimes I wonder if the stroke hadn't caught him first with the safety of full lull him into a swollen throat sleep. News said you can eat yourself to death, you know. News said you can overdose on food too. Body said overeat until your throat fist. Mama said daddy had depression. Mama says sister has depression. Sister says depression has mama. I said Klonopin, Zoloft, Xanax, numb me. Counselor said the medicine is only temporary. I said food save me. Body said pop the pills, eat to kill. Depression runs in the family. Says who wants to be beautiful when you can swallow pills and ice cream all day? Said avoid the mirror so you can't think too hard. When you don't recognize what's in it, stop thinking so hard. You only live once, so why not live life dying? For the next bite, I said, I eat to feel good. Counselor said, doctor's visit. Doctor said, you've gained weight since the last time I saw you. I said, I hate this body. Body said, I'm gaining the weight to fill the space of your missing appendage of a father. Said, you should be happy. I care. I'm the only one who does. I said, Klonopin, Zoloft, Xanax, numb me. Food save me. Body said pills didn't do this for you. I did. Food wasn't there to save you. I was. Said I vesseled this spirit. I can react however the hell I want. If I tell you to crave food, you crave food. If I tell you to cry, you cry. I told you to write a poem, and look, you wrote a poem. See, look how good I treat you. Pills and food never had a say in this. Why are you giving them all the credit? I said, sometimes I wish I didn't have a body to begin with. Body said, you're so ungrateful. Mama said, I'm so grateful God graced me with you. I said, God cursed me with me. God said, this body is only temporary. I said, don't you get it? That's what I'm afraid of.
So our feature has currently crashed, or not our feature, our host. So while this issue is being resolved, I guess I'm here. So yeah, if we could all just give it up for the poet. Yeah, clap.
Woo!
And
Don't fuck it up, judges.
I will, while we wait for our host to come back, I will, there they are.
Okay, I'm back. That was ghetto. All right. We're gonna move right on to the show. I missed a lot. I'm sorry, y'all. Did I just?
Judges and last poet scores.
Okay, judges. Last poet scores. I don't have that because I don't have the chat anymore. So if Prophet could send that to me one more time. And judges, please send Prophet your scores for the next poet. I am so sorry. Another tip for Zoom meetings: make sure your laptop has their charger, because that was ghetto. Okay, moving right along. On deck, we have Reggie, but coming up to the stage right now. Give maximum love for my woo.
Mic check.
We can hear you.
Okay, cool. Sorry. Sorry, still trying to learn to slow down. I'm still trying to implicit memory my way into suicide. I have swallowed these bottles too many times to not know the taste of orange-tinted plastic by heart. 2. You can never unstain sheets or a body. Scars still mark where I tried to remove you from me. Blood taught me silence is violence, still learned to keep quiet, so I make a massacre of this body each day. Taught me that quietly is deathly, and isn't that the truth? It's a miracle this body hasn't passed, but still I pray to the God I don't believe in for a mockery of forgiveness for these hands and all they have done to me, and isn't that holy? Waiting for my own body to pass, let a headstone be the first time my name is written in dignity. The way 3, sorry, still trying to learn about things still trying to learn to think about things before I kill them, i.e. me. 3, the way blood tends to pour reminds me of an IV drip sometimes, like that central line snaking its way around my throat tightens every time I think about it. Like the way scars only seem to get deeper each time you scowl at them. Like this really won't ever go away, like this really won't ever heal, like maybe I won't ever really heal. How many times do I have to unfinish a list poem before the blood stops staining brain tissue like glass-blown tinted skulls? 4, I'm sad. Sad like got my heart broken by a heartbreaker and called it a shock. No, sad like I can't take the trash out. Can't take a shower. No, sad like my room is the composure of my clothes 4 days worn and tossed on the desk. Sad like can't get out of bed anymore, like who made this shit so comfy? No, sad like the sight of a scab makes me think of blood, and then I get nervous, like will this scab scar? Like will this scab even become a scar to ever fade? Like will this scar that is not yet on me ever heal? Like will I ever really heal? Will I? Blood taught me that things are never really the way they seem. Like your lust looks a little too much like love, and it's almost like it's real. Things are never the way they seem, like this was supposed to be a poem about blood, and I've mentioned it twice. And this poem was supposed to be a list of 10 things, and this is 10 times I've written this poem, then cried. Thank you.
Woo! Give one more round of applause for my gang. And for reference, Hector got a score of a 28.3 and Imani got a score of a 29.2. Let them know how you feel, y'all. Woo! I see snapping, some thumbs up, some thumbs down. Gang on deck. We have Gray Violet, but coming up to the stage, give maximum love to Reggie. Woo!
Can y'all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Lit. In the gay club, the glass, a tiny river of fire trapped inside a city of bodies, moves my hand up to the air between my lips. And the liquor, spilling over itself, drowns me before the music can and set aflame. The shyness of my bones tries to liberate itself from the marrow and hops up out of my skin until someone calls the escape of myself, from myself, dancing. And my mother, a Christian woman, warns me of places like these and bodies like mine and how much of the devil can be found here, but everything is burning and all I see is God floating on top of the glass like a dance floor he created. And if I can find heaven here, then I can move myself to a baseline rapture and everyone will sing the praises of our own names until we are drunk and full of holy and empty of everything that brought us here sober. And we can hold each other until the pain leaves the back of our throats. And a boy slips me a drink and I slip him a smile. And the heat of this moment makes me forget myself in his arms. And so his lips become the first thing I drink tonight that does not burn.
Woo! Give it up one more time for Reggie, who is still spotlighted. Hey, there I am. Gang. Give it up one more time for Reggie. Woo!
better write that gay shit.
Hey, and on deck, we have the last poet of the second round, Damani. But give it up for our penultimate poet, Gray Violet. Woo!
Woo! Gang, 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 gang.
Trigger warning for gun violence, police brutality. I'll be okay. Maybe not now, but I'll be okay. Maybe when the last raindrop falls. Maybe when the last word is uttered. Maybe when the world takes a collective deep breath without having to worry about being able to breathe again. Maybe I'll be okay. Maybe when the man who is trans doesn't have to worry about getting a second chance because he already received his first one. Maybe when the nurse who has to wake up early in the morning can actually wake up in the morning without her body being riddled by bullets as she lay in bed. What if instead she had the chance to turn off her alarm? What if we showed more alarm when Black bodies died instead of the buildings they probably built? What if when blood flows on this land, we remember how it all began, this nation, this land of the free? Maybe to you, but never to me. I'm still scared to drive down southern streets because I can hear my ancestors' aching heartbeats, and I haven't forgotten about the North, how they hid behind forgotten history, how they shook hands with slave masters but swept that dirt under the rug. We are always taught to hug our enemies. But I'm keeping my 6 feet because maybe I'll be okay when my culture gets peace. When people fight to stop police raids, the will they'll scrap to wear box braids, and when our self-confidence isn't in disarray, like date who you may, but keep Black women's names out of your tongues. And claim trans women, even though they're put at the bottom of the rung with sus. It's how you trust establishments to fix inequity. The way you trust me to educate the masses when they show me their asses, the masses control me. When my art becomes pecuniary, when my art can afford me basic needs, if I relive trauma again and again, maybe I'll be okay when I'm allowed to be soft, when I'm allowed to write gay poems about vinyl bliss and fairy lights, when I can listen to Young and May and Girl in Red, when my validity focuses on the post and not the instead, maybe I'll be okay. If I don't have to worry about the day I'm dead and how that day may come too soon, and with this boon of dead, forgotten Black women, who am I to expect people to start giving a shit about my life? But also, who am I to complain when I haven't yet become a say my name? So I'll be okay when things are okay. They don't seem that way. Not now. Not ever. I don't think I'm okay.
All right, give it up one more time for Gray Violet. Woo! Gang, 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 gang. And for reference, Mai received a score of a 27.7 and Reggie received a score of a 28.6. Give it up for the poet. Woo! All right, and on deck, we have finding out who won this money. But coming up to the stage, give maximum love to the last poet of the slam. Give it up for Damani Thomas. Woo! Gang, 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 gang.
Woo! Right, can y'all hear me?
Yep, we can.
Janis Joplin once said, "Being Black for a while will make you a better white." I thought, it's just so easy to be Black these days, you know? Rachel and Danielle paved the way for them, like it's in their DNA now. Fake Bantu knotted Oakland tongue double helixes, weaves into overpriced top ramen diet. If you are what you eat, then to consume a body means you too are NWA. Section 80, Hurricane Katrina's red line, the subject of old Kanye's George Bush doesn't give a fuck about black people speech. In front of me, some silhouette watches the slave trade happen, and somewhere, a white girl says she can't be racist, says she's only 17, but 1/8 Ida B says she loves the NFL and street ball, and if she could, she would let Pornhub's entire BBC category start a daycare in her stomach. I laugh, tell her I think she has my great-grandmother's mouth in her teeth. I am a water baby, salt water and some ligaments in the shape of bloatfish for stomach, minnow for rare organs, octopus tendril appendages I might scab and grow back. I know what it means to swim in packs and try not to die. Survivor of 2 oceans trying to kill me. One Atlantic, one I call a body. The killing joke, I say, my country loved me blue. My country took my dust-soaked skeleton and put me in a thrift shop my probable children can't afford. My country loved me once and never texted me back.
Woo! Give it up one more time for Damani Thomas. And for reference, the grade Violet got a score of a 28.6. Now, as we're waiting for Damani's scores and for the total scores in general, if you like our show, you should check out some of the other shows that are still going online in the Bay Area. For example, check out the Santa Cruz Word Church every Monday on Instagram Live at the Legendary Collective. They are absolutely amazing. When there were in-person events, that was the only reason I was ever really in Santa Cruz, was to spit at Word Church. So there, if you like open mic settings, definitely go down there. There's also the Oakland Slam every third Tuesday on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at the Oakland Slam, and then the Rich Oak Alchemy Slam every first and third Saturdays on Instagram Live at Rich Oak Alchemy. Another amazing open mic. Still waiting on scores. Poets do words, not math. Damani got a score of a 29. Let them know how you feel. Gang, 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 gang.
It's not a 30. It's not a 30. So like, what is it here?
Reggie over there like Kanye. It ain't Ralph though. Okay. As we are waiting for scores, are there anybody who is in the Zoom who hosts shows, know of any open mics that we should check out? Any community announcements?
The sign up link for next week is in the chat and in the comments for anyone who thinks that they can do better. Especially some of you commenters out there.
Were they saying they think they can do better?
If you think you can do better, click the sign up link below.
I just wanted to share, I'm hosting a quarantining Zoom call for anyone that is quarantining or wants to chat. My Instagram is at my.thepoet, and the Zoom link is in my bio. So check it out.
All right.
Tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern time.
For sure. So if you're down for some community chatting and just hanging out in a world where social life is your cat, definitely check out it is some much needed human interaction. Because I'll be bored in the house and in the house bored, y'all. All right. Hey, iCON said, pass it on open mic in New Orleans happening on third Tuesdays, and will send us links and flyers. So we will be sharing that as soon as we have information. We're just waiting on one more score. One more score.
We do the Jeopardy remix.
We have our scores. All righty. So The moment you all have been waiting for, and it was pretty damn close. In third place with a score of 57.5, and thus winning, if my math is correct, $20. We have Damani Thomas. Woo! Speech.
Fire.
I see you at DK.
Sorry, I was eating tortilla chips. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for listening, everyone. Yeah, tonight was awesome. Shout out to iCON. It's like, I've never got to sit through one of your features, and although it was virtual, it was amazing. So shout out to you. And shout out to like everyone else for their writing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that feature. Thank you, Damani. That feature was amazing. I ain't even had my wig on today, but I went and checked the closet and it was still fucked up from that feature. All right, moving right along. In second place with a score of a 58.2, and thus, if my math is correct, winning 30 United States dollars, we have Reggie. Woo! Speech. Speak, nigga.
Yeah. Thank y'all. Like, y'all are great. Y'all are amazing as always. I don't know, like, you know, I feel like we got some S-class heroes up in here. I don't even watch whatever it's called. My Hero Academia, so I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about. But I feel like we got some S-class.
That was one punch. You dare. You dare.
I'm so mad.
You're muted.
No, don't mute me. We're not silencing Black people tonight. That's Mike Pence's job, apparently.
Ooh, somebody said it.
But yeah, thank y'all so much. Y'all are amazing. Everybody in this chat was amazing. The writing, as always, is like amazing. If you like want to like write with us and like be in community with us, there is a writing workshop every Wednesday before the show, usually run by our feature or by one of the gracious organizers. So you should definitely come on by. If you heard any of the cool stuff that was said here, if you also want to write cool stuff, come join us.
Yes. Thank you so much, Reggie. And in first place, with a score of, this was close. I just saw this, of a 58.3, which was 0.1 higher than our second place. And thus winning $50, we have Imani. Woo! Gang.
I'm actually a little surprised, but thank you so much. Yeah, this was great. Like, for real, like, yeah, I was nervous coming in here. I was like, nah, but thank y'all so much.
Yes, of course. We want to see you again. That was amazing. Thank you to Imani and Reggie and Damani and Mai and Gray Violet and Dog Days Are Over and iCON and Prophet and everybody who makes this show possible. And that means thank you watching, because without y'all, we would just be some crazy niggas yelling at our computers. Y'all are what makes this an actual show. So we want to see you back. Check out a lot of our other shows. If you like what you have seen, please support us at patreon.com/richoakevents. Hit our Cash App, hashtag Rich Oak Events, or our Venmo at Rich Oak Slam. It really helps us put these banger shows together. So thank y'all, and we will see y'all next time.